do they still experience some of our lower emotions, like anger or?
I hear only if we want to. And if we want to experience that, we can. We have no need, but we have no needs, and we don't choose it. So we don't choose it.
Could you elaborate a little more on Christ consciousness?
They're saying it's the alignment to the availability of the Christ itself, of the Christ itself, the true self, if you wish. The true self, if you wish, who knows who she is, who knows who she is without adversary, who comprehends beauty without delineation, the aspect of you who has come to be known as the true self. As the true self operates in different consciousness, operates at a different level of consciousness than the small self ever could. The small self knows herself through history. The small self knows herself through history. Her parents said she was who her parents said she was, what her culture told her to be, what her culture taught her to be, the divine self as you. The divine self as you has no mother or father, has no mother or father in this regard is independent from this world, but knows who she is, in conjoinment with her source. She is always connected to the source of being. She is always connected to the source of her being, and consequently everything else within it, and consequently everything else within it, because of the source of love, because everything is of source as well. The delineations you make high and low, and between high and low and in between are prescriptions, ways you know yourself, ways you have known yourself throughout time, because you identify, and because you identify through your creations, which means the things you see before you create alignments. You create alignments and agreements with lower octaves, because you anticipate yourself as in relationship to them as you outgrow form. As you outgrow form, the need to be in a body, you begin to witness differently. You begin to witness differently, but as you are in form. But as you are in form and have lessons to learn here, the level of Christ self. The level of Christ self, or the divination of the true self through the identity that's held, through the identity that is held as the prescription for being whole, period. So in other words, my sense is, and don't tell me if I'm wrong, that to sort of align at that level of Christ consciousness is how high we can go while we're held in form in the material realm. Do you understand this? God can be realized through the human form as who and what we are, and that's what they're saying, because because nothing can be outside of it. So let me see if I can make sense of this. And this is a newer teaching, and I don't describe it very well yet. But what they've been talking about in the latest book, called the Book of Truth, is that we've been operating with this sense of, God is in the cloud and we're in the mud. And, or we have this body that we're sort of dealing with here that's really just a vehicle for the spirit. And they say, well, the body is as holy as everything else, as the tree, as the sky. And God is in the tree and in the sky and in the body as well. So the realization of the divine in all things can't exclude the material realm that you hold. That you know yourself through the body you hold. So as you begin to realize this, you begin to shift the whole experience of the material realm for yourself. But I think that there's more to it than just, oh yeah, God is in everything, sure, which is I can say that. But to say something and to realize it, and the guides say realization and knowing are the same thing. To know that is a very, very profound state. Now, do I walk around knowing that? No, I don't. When I'm operating as the guides, when they're teaching through me, I have a taste of it, and it's extraordinary. It's extraordinary. For me to be able to be participatory to them, looking into the face of someone I have never met in my life, and seeing just sort of the breathtaking beauty of them. Just the breathtaking beauty is an astonishing experience. But I'm guarded and protected, and when I worry about what people think of me, and you should lose 20 pounds, and whatever this stuff is, that's my small self having its day at the cost of the other. And the other is the divine self. So that's the closest I've gotten to experiencing this, not really. But they just said not really. They're saying to me, you're farther along than you think. Don't denigrate the self. Don't denigrate the self. It doesn't serve anybody. It doesn't serve anybody. The good news for all of you is, the good news for all of you is you're here to be. You are here to be as you truly are, as you truly are. And his descriptors of the experience he had, can ensure you all have the same experience, can all have the same experience as you realize yourselves this way. As you realize yourself in this way, you don't have to be a channel. You don't have to be a channel of yourself. You have to be your true self, the God self that came with you, that is always you, that knows who everything. Everyone is everything, and everyone is in the higher octaves, that are to be known through you, that are here to be known through you, period.